Vikes now. Wow. Week 14 already. Kind of crazy to think. Week 14, right? Not
Yeah,
13, 14. Yeah.
yeah. But
Um, thank God. I've got a good friend Jay here. He's a Commanders fan. If you've watched the channel for a long time, you've probably heard me mention a million times. I'm not from Minnesota. I'm born and raised, lived in Virginia my entire life. So this is Commanders territory. Uh, Not a Commanders fan because my dad is a Vikings fan, so Washington was never my thing. I do have a soft spot for him though. They gave us Kirk Cousins after all, so thanks for that, I guess. But yeah, I'm here with my good friend Jay, lifelong friend, in real life friend. Jay, how you doing?
doing great, man. I would say I'm excited for the game this weekend, but final score might be 0-3 for all we know.
Yeah, and Vikings fans know that score all too well because we had a 3-0 game 2 years ago in Vegas against the Raiders with, oh my God, yeah, it was we started Mullins and then Josh Dobbs had to come in and save him, but hopefully not. This is a draft pick bowl. What pick do the Commanders have at the moment?
Oh, off the top of my head, I think we're hovering around like five. I
Okay.
don't want to say that's exactly it, but 5 or 6. I would love for us to somehow manage to get in the top three, but it
Yeah.
seems like everyone else is also tanking. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and the Vikings, of course. I mean, you're not technically allowed to tank, but like, if the Vikings could, that would be awesome. But the Wilfs will never let them do that. The Wilf family, because they just want to win. Obviously, that's not what the Vikings are doing right now. I think the Vikings have the 11th pick right now, and that'll surely improve should they lose to the Commanders this Sunday or tomorrow, which I hope happens. But I guess like there's not a ton to talk about in this game because it's two shit stains going against each other. Washington, of course, will have Jaden Daniels back tomorrow. Minnesota will have JJ McCarthy back tomorrow, so brace for that. So Jay, I guess I'll ask you, because other than the draft pick, obviously, because like if you lose, you kind of win in this situation. What at least for the future are the Commanders playing for outside of that draft? But like, what are you looking to see out of the team for like the rest of the season going into season's coming?
Yeah, so last week was honestly exactly kind of what every Commanders fan wanted. I was there when we played Denver, and it was perfect. Like the team is not, you know, done with Dan Quinn. Like the team is still bought in. They want to win. And then I saw in the post-game press conference, like Dan Quinn was talking to the team, and he said, we lost, but we're not lost. And I think that was
Mhm.
like the line that all the Commanders fans wanted to buy in on is we have the quarterback. Like we have players that want to play hard, players that want to be here. And for a Washington fan born in 2000, like that hasn't been the case my whole entire life. Like the players that were here before when we sucked, they were here for the paycheck. But the guys that are here now, like they're coming off the best season that we've had in my entire life. I don't think that they think this season is like really a description of who they are. I think that they know that they're a better team than they've shown. We took what the number one seed in the AFC to a
Mhm.
one point game. Um, so I think that we're just looking for the guys to continue to play hard and kind of like you were saying, the Vikings are not tanking. The Commanders are the same way. Like everybody on that field against Denver wanted to win the game, and I expect it to be the same when we play you guys. As much as the fans want to get that high draft pick, like we need a lot of pieces still.
Yeah, and as fans, we do that a lot. Like, what technically is it the smart thing to like lose and improve your future? Because like the Viking, they have, I don't know if Washington's still mathematically in it. Minnesota's still mathematically in the hunt for the playoff. They're not going to make it. They
We
literally need.
both, yeah, we both are, but we are
Mhm.
eliminated by either losing to you or a Philly win. So like
Yeah,
even if we beat you and Philly wins, I'm pretty sure that still
yeah,
does it for us.
yeah. Either of us, we need to win out and have like multiple other teams lose out. So Minnesota and Washington are done on the season. And it's funny you mentioned because like obviously Washington has kind of been a bottom dweller with a couple years here and there. Like last year was awesome. Like I myself was cheering for Washington just because like I do have that soft spot for them. And when Washington beat Detroit, man, that I felt like I
Uh,
won that playoff. That was awesome. But Minnesota and Washington are kind of the same in that regard, but they do it differently. Like Washington doesn't have that many boom seasons. Just the last year was their only conference championship appearance since 2000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Minnesota's go
I
ahead.
think that was like our first playoff win
Hmm.
since what? Did we win one in 2007? I don't have it off the top of my head, but that's
Mid
like
two,
our first.
yeah, mid 2000s.
Yeah.
But like the Vikings have like Minnesota and Washington have both accomplished nothing in the past 25, 26 years, but Minnesota and Washington have done it differently, whereas Minnesota's been to three NFC
Yeah.
championships since 2000, but we just lose. But like the Vikings are never bad. So, and I feel like I kind of speak for Vikings fans. Like this year, like Minnesota's not known for winning everything, obviously, because they don't win everything. But like Vikings fans are not used to bad seasons because we're just always like 500 is usually the floor. So like being in that purgatory is kind of why Vikings fans want to lose to get that draft pick, and obviously all fans want to. If your season's over, you might as well get the most assets out of it you can. But like kind of being back in this position, like 2 years ago, we had the 11th overall pick when we traded, or a year and a half, I guess. We had 11 traded up to 10 to take McCarthy, but like we're kind of pacing, like kind of being in that top 10, which is a really, really weird thing for like Washington, obviously all the players are still bought in. Minnesota, I think that's the case too. Kevin O'Connell he just won NFL Coach of the Year like 8 months ago.
That
So
that
it's
was that was like a question that I was gonna have for you is like
mhm.
what's the overall feeling from Vikings fans on Kevin O'Connell? Like everybody's still bought in, right? I can't imagine that there's a fan who's calling for him to be fired.
Au contraire.
Really?
There's a so I would think all fan bases kind of have it. There's not many fans calling for Kevin O'Connell's head completely.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I know who you're talking about. Those
mm,
type of fans, like I don't know if they're real fans. The ones that have to be negative about every single aspect of the team.
yeah.
Like you have a proven coach. Don't go out and fire him for one bad season with a quarterback who missed all of last year. It
Mhm.
makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah, not many people want like of course there's that few that like just kind of and they don't want to get rid of O'Connell to get rid of O'Connell only for getting rid of him. They just want to like tear it down, GM,
Yeah.
head coach, coaching staff, everything, which I kind of understand. I'm obviously not on the fire O'Connell train because I mean he's a very good head coach. And where I'm at on it. So like I guess the temperature of the fan base is like mostly everybody kind of likes Kevin O'Connell, which they should. Most people do have I guess, conniption with his play calling on like third and fourth and short because it is like really bad. His situational play calling is actually atrocious at
How
times.
much of that is like confidence in the quarterback play though, do you think?
It's almost like he has too much confidence in the quarterback play because third and one, fourth and one, like I don't want to sound like a boomer, but like it depends on field position too. But like if it's third and one, like run the ball.
Yeah.
At least like 55 to 60% of the time. We run the ball in those situations. I think the number is literally 26, 27% of the time. So it's
Wow.
like, what? I mean, you've got quarterbacks that are obviously struggling, like Max Brosmer last week. It's fourth and one in the red zone. We run a play action boot. Max Brosmer throws the worst interception you've ever seen in your life. I'm sure you saw it. But it's just like, what? I, it's at that point. I don't get it, but of course I'm not out on O'Connell. Temperature of the fan base being everybody's mostly okay with O'Connell. Every people are getting for the most part, and it's taken everyone like a while to get to this point, way longer than it should have. Like everybody wants Quasey gone, the GM.
Yeah.
You cannot draft good free agency classes, but you have to have the good free agency classes to supplement the fact that you can't draft. So like everybody's kind of blaming quarterback play and Kevin O'Connell for this season a bit. Quarterback play obviously is a major part, but like I'm blaming Quasey for the most part. There's things that are out of his control. Like he can't control how players play, but like you build the roster and you've got coach of the year at head coach. Like why are we 4-8?
Yeah, that like the thing in Washington is from the fans, like everybody kind of wants heads on spikes, so they're looking for people to blame. and everyone is so spread out. Like you have the Peters group who thinks like, oh, Adam Peters, he missed in free agency this year. We
Mhm.
didn't do enough, didn't bring in enough.
Yeah.
And then obviously bringing in Lattimore like backfired.
Mhm.
Then you got the people who, think, oh, Cliff's offense like isn't good enough. Like all these little under college RPO bubble screens aren't working.
Mhm.
And then I'm in the boat of like everybody needs like a reset year with this many injuries, and I'm not. Other teams are hurt and winning,
Yeah.
but when your quarterback is hurt, there's rarely ever a team that's going to do good when their starting quarterback is hurt.
Mhm.
But for me, like Joe Witt, he has to go. That's my head on a spike. Like
Now,
when
who
your
is Joe Witt?
defense, Joe Witt is our defensive coordinator. He
DC. Okay.
came with Quinn from Dallas. Witt was the D backs coach. Had
Mhm.
like Bland to have that record breaking season. Him and Quinn were like the hot thing when Dallas's defense was going off. And our secondary is like the worst in the NFL. So I need that guy out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of it kind of sounds like so of course Dan Quinn is obviously like a defensive minded guy. Is Witt like is he kind of just there or is he like actually calling the defense?
He called plays until 2 weeks ago. Dan Quinn took back the
Okay.
defensive play calling duties, and things have gotten better since DQ took it back. But
Mhm.
like, I'm not sure if it was because even last year during our deep run, like the defense wasn't great. The
Yeah.
offense holding on to the ball for a long time. Like Cliff's offense is good at these methodical drives where you're just picking up first downs and chewing up the clock. So the
Mm.
offense covered for the defense last year, and then this year it's like with them on the field so much, you just see the lack of talent. And I don't know if that's a combination of Peter's acquisitions and putting them in bad positions, like Mikey Sainristil from last year. How many different positions have we put him in where it's like, this is his spot. He's in the slot. Like, this is what
Mhm.
he's supposed to be the best at. When last year he played on the outside and was better. So it's like Quinn doesn't know that Witt is struggling to put people where they need to be to succeed.
Yeah, and the reason I asked like does he actually do anything is because I guess we'll have a showdown of like what do they do tomorrow because our offensive coordinator Wes Phillips like what does obviously he does stuff like I'm not like saying he stands there
Yeah.
and does nothing gets a check but like from like my fans perspective watching the game like okay coach of the year Kevin O'Connell is the offensive play caller. Wes Phillips, what do you do?
Yeah.
It's and obviously because Kevin O'Connell was Sean McVay's OC with the Rams when they won the Super Bowl. So, and it came out that Kevin O'Connell was actually like, I'm not saying he was like smarter than McVay,
Yeah,
obviously,
but
but
he was the mastermind
he
of
was an
that offense.
architect of
Yeah.
kind of getting it there. So maybe Wes Phillips does something like that. I don't know. Phillips has been here ever since Kevin O'Connell came here in 2022, and I don't think he's ever been rumored for a head coaching job. And then you said you still have Cliff Kingsbury at OC.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
think he's sticking around?
That's gonna be a tough call because like at the end of last season, he wanted to keep building with Jaden, like all the success. He got offered the Saints job, I'm pretty sure. Like I think he
Mm,
was their number one option over Kellen Moore, and he turned it down. I am doubtful that he stays, to be honest. Just from the way things kind of played out this year, I think if he gets another opportunity to be a head coach or go back to college and be a head coach, I think he would
mm,
take it.
yeah,
Especially if a big school from college called him up. Like I genuinely think that he's meant for the college game. I think
yeah.
he's a good college head coach and his offense is built for it.
It's funny. We have like similarly kind of structured on the surface level coaching staff because we have like the what does he do guy. You have him on defense, we have him on offense, and then you have
Yeah.
the like maybe he should be a head coach either like Brian Flores would probably not go to college. Obviously, he'd stay in
Yeah.
the NFL. Brian Flores will be a head coach again in the next couple of years, I'm sure, when this
And I've
NFL gets going.
always I've always been a Flores guy. Like
Yeah.
when the Dolphins fired Flores, I was like, that is the most idiotic thing I've ever seen.
Hmm. And
That
apparently
did
they've
you?
they fired him for like not wanting to tank. It's
Yeah,
like
not
no.
wanting to tank, not liking Tua.
Hmm.
Now look where the Dolphins are with Tua. It's like
Yeah.
maybe
Uh,
this guy knows football and he saw a quarterback that wasn't going to be good enough.
yeah. Who would have thought that Brian Flores can call the defense? And that's kind of the Vikings defense, more so specifically the last month and a half or two, other than just the all-out embarrassment against the Chargers on Amazon Prime on Thursday night about a month and a half ago now. Not
Speaking of getting embarrassed on Amazon Prime
yeah.
Thursday night, like the moment that Washington knew this was probably not going to be last year was that Packers game where
Hmm.
we went in and we just got crushed for the
Yeah.
whole entire game.
Yep. And the Vikings, with that game against the Chargers, the Vikings have never won a Thursday night football game ever. We're like 0
Really?
and 7 or 0 and 8, and Washington beat us in one in I think 2013. So yeah, crazy stat of the day. We have never won a game on a Thursday other than Thanksgiving.
Was
There's
that the RG3 run?
I think it was our. I know. I'm pretty sure it might not. It might have been 2012. So yeah, it was probably RG. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. The RG3 run was a Sunday game. I remember that one. The Thursday game, I think, might have been a year later. Um, I just don't remember anything from that game because I was 13 and the game sucked. Um, but yeah, so Vikings defense has been pretty good. With Washington's offense, like what is there something going wrong there? Like what should Vikings fans kind of expect to see out of Washington's offense tomorrow?
You should expect to see a plethora of running backs who are all great, like second options. You know, like none of them are a starter level running back. So you're going to see a lot of like 3 or 4 yard runs. We like to keep it simple and like run up the middle. And then like what I've noticed is Cliff is kind of dialing back on these little bubble screens, but McLaurin coming back into the offense kind of changes everything.
Yeah,
That Denver game looked nothing like
they
all of
look
the
way
games.
different. Yep.
Looked nothing like any of those games that we played without McLaurin. So like what I saw in person on Sunday was we're gonna just kind of stutter and stumble through the drive, and then we'll have a third down conversion that keeps it alive. So like I wasn't impressed with anything that I saw on Sunday other than the Traylon Burks catch.
Yeah.
And I was impressed by Terry McLaurin cooking Pat Surtain. Watch the tape. Terry took that guy to school.
Hmm.
I think that you can expect to see a lot of Terry McLaurin if we're passing.
Yeah.
And watch
Terry.
out for old man Zach Ertz. He had 100 yards last week. That was our first 100-yard receiver of the entire season.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
We haven't had one. I think the last time we had one was on a team with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Our last 100-yard receiver was Jalen Naylor like 3 weeks ago, about a month ago.
That was our first one, I think, of the whole season. I think Debo had a few games in the 90s. He might have had like 100 scrimmage yards, but pure
Mhm.
receiving yards, Zach Ertz, baby. Only
That's
one.
wild. I'm still got it. Yeah, Terry McLaurin will definitely have plenty of room because our cornerbacks, and this isn't questioning your ball knowledge, but name cornerbacks on the Vikings.
I know your safety.
Yeah, exactly. So like we got
I know
Harrison
Harrison
Smith.
Smith, and
Yeah.
is it Cam Bynum? Or is he
So
on the
Cam
Colts
Bynum's
now?
in Indy now. He
Yeah,
signed with
he's
Indy
the
this
guy. He's the
offseason.
guy from the Colts. You got a new safety though. That's pretty good, right?
Theo Jackson. Well,
Remind.
We have Josh Metellus, but he's more of kind of a in the box everywhere guy, and he's absolutely dreadful in coverage. So, and the reason I say that is because Terry McLaurin should have a field day, and Debo should have a field day on the Viking secondary tomorrow. Our corners are Byron Murphy Jr., who like big-ish name, but he fell off
Yeah,
crazy.
just like a high draft pick guy that you
Yeah.
never. He kept his name value from where he got drafted.
Mhm. Yeah, he had a really good year last year. The Vikings were in a spot where like they kind of had to pay him. So they did that, and of course he's not been who he was. But
Yeah.
outside of him, it's Isaiah Rogers. You would recognize his name, Fabian Moreau.
Wait, I love Fabian
I
Morrell,
do too.
but Isaiah Rogers,
Isaiah
he
Rogers, yeah.
started the season insanely high, right? Like that was your guy that
Well,
was.
he had a historic defensive performance against the Bengals. And outside of that, he's just not good. Um, so yeah, like they have names kind of on the team just with Murphy and Rogers, but like the play's not there. Like I've been saying for weeks that Fabian Moreau legitimately is our best cornerback, and I
Let
feel
me
like he's backed it up.
let me flip the switch on you of who are our corners
I
other.
can't. No, I can't.
I mean, you would know that
Marshawn.
if you like, well, Marshawn, he's out for the year, but
All right. Oh my.
yeah, you'd know like Sainer still because he got
Mike Sanders
dra-
still at Michigan.
drafted last year.
Mhm.
So hey, Michigan boys, or let's see who gets the better, Sainer
Yeah.
still or JJ.
I have a feeling I know who it's going to be. Um, but yeah, so and Minnesota's defense has always been well in the Flores era more so because I'm just convinced at this point that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah doesn't view cornerback as like a premium position. And maybe in the Brian Flores defense, you don't need it to be because the Flores
Yeah.
defense is literally just go and then cover everybody for like 2.5 seconds and we're fine. And they've gotten
And
away with it to the most point.
you
Um,
saying that kind of like strikes a similar chord with our defense.
yeah.
I think that Joe Witt and Dan Quinn coming over from the Cowboys, where they made Diggs, Bland, all these guys, they had their like the best seasons of their career under
Yeah.
them. I think that they felt like they could take a few people and just develop them into something special. So I mean, we spent the high draft pick on Amos and Sainer still, but we're not seeing them develop at all. So I'm wondering like how much time they're putting into actually developing these young
Mhm.
corners because they haven't improved at all throughout the season.
Yeah. And I raised the same question about the Vikings too, because I mean, we like on the roster and in terms of corners that like we've drafted, we went it was until we raised Dwight McGlothern up from the practice squad after releasing him a couple days earlier to make room for Ryan Kelly on the active roster. We had three corners on the active roster. I think we're at four now with McGlothern on it, and they just kind of elevate him on game day. But like the Vikings, I don't know if they're just missing picks, which Kwesi does that, but Dwight McGlothern, he was undrafted, so that doesn't really even count. But like Mekhi Blackman, we took him in the third round of the 2023 draft where we drafted Jordan Addison. We traded him this offseason to Indy. Like Kyrie Jackson, of course, nothing you can do about that. He passed away before he
Yeah.
could even ever play a snap. I was really excited about Kyrie Jackson. I think he'd still be on the team right now in a pretty big role. Um, but yeah, the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings track record, like our best corner in team history, obviously is Antoine Winfield. We didn't draft him; the Giants did. And so, like, the best corner we've ever drafted was Xavier Rhodes, and he was really good for like a year and a half, and that's about it. But for because the Vikings defense, obviously, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Grenard, Dallas Turner, pass rush is going to be huge, and we have, of course, Jonathan Allen. Uh, he hasn't done anything, so
Yeah.
that's awesome. Um, so like
Or the
on
same.
yeah, on paper, the Vikings have this like really good defensive line with the names I just named. And we have Javon Hargrave too. The best interior defensive lineman on the team has been Jalen Redmond, an undrafted free agent, and not these big money free agents we now got. Edge rushers obviously have been really good between Van Ginkel, Grenard, and Dallas Turner. But in his obviously young NFL career, how has Jaden Daniels looked against pressure? Because he will be getting pressured tomorrow.
It's kind of a tale of two seasons. Like last year, the pressure didn't seem to bother him too much. Like it kind of enabled his like creative
Yeah.
mindset. Like he used it to his advantage. If you're gonna blitz, he's gonna get the ball out quick, find the open guy. This year, with the whole receiver fiasco that we're going through, and Sam Cosmi, you know, tearing his ACL at the very end of last season and being out to start the year probably didn't help.
Hmm.
But nobody's getting open quick enough for Jaden to get the ball out. We've had like patchwork on the offensive line. Missing Cosmi was huge for us. That's probably our best offensive lineman outside of Tunsil. And then the rookie, that's one thing I will say. I think that we made the right pick on Josh Connolly. He's gotten better
Yeah.
throughout the whole entire season. He has gone against a murderer's row. And like we played Denver, who has the most sacks in the league. And I really didn't think that they even got to Marcus that much. Like they would pressure Marcus, but then like not many sacks, and Marcus had enough time to make the decision. Now,
Hmm.
did he make the right decision every time? No, but it's your backup quarterback. He's not going to.
Yeah. And so the Brian Flores defense, if you and this is surface level stuff, but like when you have that big of a sample size, it's like, is Brian Flores a fraud? No, not really. But like Brian Flores against the young quarterbacks, he's like just a young quarterback, like Grim Reaper.
Yeah, he's
So
got that Belichick in him where
yeah,
he's going to take advantage of a guy who isn't used to having the house sent at him every single play.
yeah. And then you play the good quarterbacks who've been around and they kind of tear it apart. So you reap what you sow, I guess, in terms of that. But um yeah, with it kind of scares me because like at first I was thinking of this like, oh, I mean, we should be able to contain Washington. But with because our defense has been playing really well, like we got shut out 26-0 last week, but we allowed one offensive touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
It's just what the score doesn't tell you. Um,
I
but
think that the fun part about watching this game is going to be our offense with like a lot of their key
yeah,
players coming back versus your guys' defense. Like that's going
yeah,
to be when the game is going to be fun to see the chess match between like Cliff and Flores. Kind of like we were saying earlier, like we have our one guy who we think is good enough to go be a coach
mhm,
at a higher level. But then when nine struts out onto the field and the Commanders' terrible defense struts out onto the field, like that's when you're going to want to change the channel, maybe go to red zone.
yeah. I mean, I'm for some reason I'm excited. Like I'm dreading having to watch JJ McCarthy play football tomorrow. There's
I,
that's there,
I think that it's like nine. Look,
yeah,
if you're going to have a good game, it has to be now. Like this,
yeah.
it's been served up to you on a platter. Like every single quarterback that we've played has found success. This is your opportunity to go into next year. Like, man, you remember what he did against the Commanders?
Yeah, so that I guess to answer my own question, my first question to you about what the rest of the season is for, like the rest of the season is all about finding out if McCarthy's the guy. And that doesn't mean winning games. You don't have to win out to find that. But like if JJ McCarthy is who he was for the first handful of games that he's played in his career, like outside of the Lions game where we truly saw the final incarnation of nine, like he can't like
Yeah.
it takes years to develop quarterbacks, but the days of like quarterbacks taking 3-4 years to develop, it's just not a thing anymore. Like quarterbacks now, you know right away. Like of course, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. Like Drake May wasn't great last year in his rookie year, but like you
He
saw
showed that,
flashes.
yeah, he showed that he was a starting quarterback.
Yeah, and people have kind of because like JJ McCarthy and Josh Allen's first like handful of games are like statistically kind of similar. So some Vikings fans are like, wait a second. It's like,
But you've
no,
you've never seen the, 70-yard pass that's
yeah.
pinpoint randomly.
Mhm.
You've never seen the running somebody over and escaping the like doing that kind of stuff. That Josh Allen, even in his rookie year, it was like this dude's just inaccurate as fuck. Is he ever gonna figure that out?
Yeah.
But you could
Yeah.
see he had every physical tool in the bag.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's what I said. Like coming into this year, like Vikings fans for the most part had playoffs on their mind, like wild card contention. I I was like, maybe, but that's not what this year is about. This year is about like finding out if JJ McCarthy's the guy. Unfortunately you have to take a year to find that out in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's what this year's about. It's not looking good so far. But the rest of this year for the Vikings is about, okay, are we rolling with JJ McCarthy, bringing in a veteran this offseason to like compete for the job going into 2026, and giving McCarthy another offseason? Or is McCarthy going to be who he's been? And are we trading for Kyler Murray or Mac Jones? This is what we're finding out for the rest of the year. I don't know if we'll find that out tomorrow. Like you said, tomorrow's a good start. But there's a small delusional part of me, the 12-year-old boy that thinks the Vikings are the best team ever and nobody could ever rival them, and is going on Facebook talking about how much the Cowboys and Steelers and Commanders suck because all my friends are the fans of those teams. Um, that part of me is like, what if last week McCarthy sitting down watching Brosmer play, taking a week, it was like that's what woke up nine. It's not, but like, what if it is?
Yeah. And I think that a similar sentiment to what you're saying with us, it's not the quarterback, which is the first time in pretty much my whole life I
Yeah.
can say that like we're not looking to see, hey, who's the quarterback going to be?
Mm,
But for us, it's like which of these young guys and vets are worth keeping on the roster next year? Like we need to come into next year with a completely different mindset. Like we went all win now. Oldest team in the league. We heard it all year. Like we're the retirement home. We're
mm,
probably about to lose a lot of these guys, whether it be genuinely to retirement or just like I need Peters to say we need to go in a different direction. Like the Lattimore thing, got to be cut. Wagner's going to be gone. So for us, it's which one of the young guys are we like? Okay, we don't need to address D tackle. Johnny Newton's going to be okay.
mm.
Like we don't need to address corner. Sanders still in Amos showed flashes at the end. So for us, it's like these guys that haven't developed through the whole season. I need them to finish the year strong so we at least know what we need. Because right now it's like, well, I mean, fuck, we need everything but the quarterback.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know any ball anymore because I said I couldn't name any of your corners, and I completely forgot you drafted Trey Amos, and I loved him coming out of the draft.
I like Amos a lot too. My brother was killing us for taking him over Will Johnson, though.
Yeah, well, Brian doesn't know ball. Um, but yeah, it should be a fun one. I mean, actually, it shouldn't be a fun one tomorrow, but maybe it will be. I mean, it could be one of those shit games that turns into a shootout and it's electric and it's
Yeah.
the game to see on Red Zone. But
I
we're
think
coming,
Jaden versus Vikings defense is going to be, it'll be make it worth your watch.
yeah. I think JJ McCarthy versus himself will make it worth the watch or make it completely unwatchable, which is what it's been.
That guy's got a little Will Levis in him, man. He's
He
got a little Will
does.
Levis to him.
He does, but like Will Levis could complete a pass sometimes, and McCarthy can't. But yeah, he's one of the most inaccurate throwers of the football I've ever seen in my life. But we're coming up on time here. We got a couple minutes though. Throw me your, give me one score prediction for tomorrow, and then give me a bold prediction just from anything we'll see in the game.
All right, I'm gonna go 27 to 20
Mm-hmm.
Vikings. I think that you guys will
Hmm.
you'll pull it out by a touchdown. And I think that you are gonna see nine throw two touchdowns at least.
I hope so. He's had two touchdowns in a game twice, and they were
Oh,
both divisional road games.
Justin Jefferson has over 100 yards.
I hope so because I really need these rumor like the Jefferson trade rumors, and we do it with every receiver when they're on a bad team, flustered with a bad quarterback. But
Yeah.
I need it to end. He's not going.
KOC knows he's pissed and he
Yeah,
knows that our secondary sucks. Hey, let's make this dude happy real quick as the season's wrapping up.
yeah. It's the least that we could do for who I think is still the best wide receiver in the NFL, but that is bias.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Talent wise,
in
he's not
terms of talent, yeah. But yeah, I guess for my score prediction, we're kind of like under the table feeling each other on this because I'm predicting Washington to win. Um, I would say 24-16. And my bold prediction about it would be that I don't want to steal your thunder with a receiver pro because I want to say Terry McLaurin goes for 150.
no fucking way.
I'll say bold prediction. JJ McCarthy has above a 60% completion percentage, even in a loss, but
I
they're
like
all for 5 yards.
I like the odds on that one.
Yeah. But I appreciate you joining, man. We'll see if we can't get you here for the recap show on Monday or something. I know you got work, so we'll play it by ear. But I appreciate you a lot for coming on, man. Anything else you want to get out there?
Nah, watch Brevin. Like all his channels. read all his articles.
Please, I need to feed my kids. I don't have any kids. But we will see you guys next time. I'll see you guys on the recap show. Skull.